Oscar Pérez joined Qualitas Energy in 2007 and has over 18 years of experience in private equity and corporate finance with a focus on renewable energy. Oscar heads strategy and business development for Qualitas Energy, heading the international growth opportunities under consideration, as well as new business models and technology analysis. Oscar will dwell from his perspective on the topic which will be covered by both speakers, energy security and clean energy. Oscar, please join us. Thank you so much, Oscar. Please join us. Yeah. You can.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what's here. It's not working.
You press. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So this is Oscar Pérez. So I'm founding partner of Qualitas Energy. Just brief introduction to give some background. So Qualitas Energy, investment firm, focused on investing in energy transition. 16 years, more than 8 gigawatts, 11 billion euro invested in the last 16 years in different countries, including most of European countries, US, Australia, and now presence in Germany, strong presence, also offices in Spain, Italy, Poland, and Santiago, and UK. So what's the impact of the energy security on the investment side and the renewable energy? So probably the best, giving us some framework on the overall conversation is that when we talk about the energy transition, we talk about a broad concept of energy, so much beyond what it's just electricity. So basically, if you see in the pie charts, so mostly 70% of the overall energy is not related to electricity, but other kind of final uses. And this is one of the key messages that we need to go through the energy transition. So we are well on the path of decarbonizing the electricity, or it's the easy part, but still there is a lot of a big part that is the non-electricity energy market in the EU. The objectives by 2030, it's achieve 45% of decarbonize the energy use in EU, but it will require some structural changes also. So first, the electrification of the energy, so trying to move from fossil fuel energy consumption into electricity on some of the uses in the industry or transport that we have. The point is increase or get deeper into the decarbonization of the electricity market. That it's the path that we've been going through during the last years. So we changed, or we have pivot with all this geopolitical situation on Ukraine, Russia, and some of the topics that we have been discussing, from decarbonization or climate change concern into energy security, or really another more deeper need from the EU to decarbonize and to invest. So that basically, if you see of the overall EU energy consumption, 56% it's imported from out of the EU, and 44% it's internal. If you see the key data here, it's out of the internal sources of energy are electricity. Most of them are electricity linked, so renewable and nuclear power. We have certain, especially in Norway, oil and gas resources and coal here in the eastern part of Europe, but mostly are related with the electricity use of the energy. 56% is imported. out of which, and this data from 2021, before the war, between 30% and 54% of the imports came from Russia in terms of the natural gas, coal, and oil that represents the most of the imported energy sources from the EU. What this means, if we want in Europe to get this objective of achieving the 45% decarbonization of the energy, it will require a massive investment. It's not, so once you put everything in context of the whole EU, we are talking about close to a little bit more of 10 trillion euro to be invested, out of which mostly 4 trillion is expected on the electricity generation means, so solar, wind, nuke. You have another couple of trillion on network, because the more renewable energy enters into the electric market, the more flexibility and infrastructure you need. And there is also a lot of other investments that are related to these other uses of the energy, not related to the electricity, but changing the industrial processes, the transport, the infrastructure that need to change from fossil fuel, that it's basically focused on the transport and the heat generation, into electrification or other kind of processes that may be action through non-fossil fuel. So it's not seen well, but here the content of this, it was that basically all this non-electricity part of the energy comes from the transport, from the residential heating, and from the industry part. So each of these subsegments in the transport is the change of the classical oil or petrol, diesel, so changing into the new ways. You have renewable natural gas or bioenergy, so anaerobic digestion and so on, that it's a way to offset, to generate same natural gas that we have right now imported, coming through the disposals, waste, agricultural waste. But it may cover only a part of this consumption. So according to the last view and EU Directive Reg 3 that yesterday was approved, it relates between 10 to 15% of the overall natural gas or fossil fuel may be covered through this biomethane or renewable natural gas, but it's only a minor part. And the rest of the changes in the processes are related to the electrification. So electric vehicle in the transport, heating pumps on the residential heating, and finally the hydrogen. That the hydrogen in the EU, it's seen as the key element to make possible decarbonize this part of the energy that right now relies on the fossil fuel. And hydrogen, basically, it's water and electricity. So we came back again to the square one, that it's electrification and making this electricity more decarbonized and more renewable energy and more infrastructure and flexibility. This is the framework in which I want to discuss with you and make our view as managers, investors, and part of the players or stakeholders on all this process. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Oscar. Yeah.